sections. Okay, so on this one, look at what you're handed. Don't pay attention to the hint yet. We'll talk about the hint. Just look at what you're handed. You got the endpoints of the diameter. What's a diameter? Okay, it's 2 times the radius. When it says that the endpoints of the diameter are on those 2 points, on a circle, where are the endpoints of a diameter? Yeah, think Sesame Street. They're not in the circle, they're not out of the circle, they are on the circle. And a diameter always goes through where? The center of the circle. Okay, so let's just pretend that I have a diameter and maybe it looks like this, right? I know that this guy and this guy are going to be on the circle, right? That's what a diameter is. But not only do I know that, if I can figure out where the exact middle is, what will that give me? The center of the circle. Ah, there's my H and my K, right? Okay, so I'm just kind of mapping out what it might look like. Now look at your hint. Your hint says to find the midpoint. Okay, why? Because that'll give us our center. I just walked you through that. And then the other one says, and then you can find your radius the way you did in the last example. Okay, so let's go with hint number 1 first. Let's go find the midpoint. And there I've given you an even further hint, and that is to get the average x value, the average y value. Let me ask you something. Let's say that I've already given you 2 quizzes in class. I haven't, but let's say I have. And I said, can you please find the average of those quizzes? How do you find average? Add them together and divide by how many there are. In this case, there are 2. Same thing. If you want to find the midpoint, find the average x value, add them together, divide by 2, and find the average y value, add them together, divide by 2, and you'll have your midpoint. You'll have the midpoint that's smack in the middle, okay? So average x value, just talk to me about, let's see, I'm gonna just say H here, because this is what I'm looking for. Talk to me about the math that I gotta do to find the H piece of my center. Okay, and what does that give you? 1. Right, 6 minus 4 is 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. All right, how about the K value? Talk to me about the math that you gotta do to get the K value. And that's gonna be -2, right? Because you have a -4 divided by 2. Okay, so now I have my H and K. Oh, cool. Now, what are the 3 things I gotta have to write the standard equation? H, K, and R. How many times have I asked you that question today? Yeah, do you think maybe it's important? Yeah, it's one of those things where if I can keep drilling it into you, maybe you'll remember it, right? Okay, so the next hint, because I've got my H and K now, the next hint says go find R the same way that we did in example 3. Let's go back to example 3 because that's been a long time ago. I forget what we did. Example 3, I had my center, just like I've got my center for the current example. And then I had a point that the circle passes through. Well, don't I have 2 of those now? Because the diameter points, the end points, those are 2 points that the circle passes through. Okay, so basically then, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick one of your diameter endpoints and call it HK. Okay, now which one do you think we should choose? Why would you like to choose -451? Absolutely, I'm with you. Smaller numbers are better. So let's use X and Y for that guy. And then let's plug those 4 in, solve for R. All right, you go. You do that one. Okay. When you get it, show it to somebody close by, see if they got the same thing. I think Jaden's finished. Madison, right? Madison and Sienna. Selena. I'll get it. Savannah, right? Keep forgetting there's Bethany. You're sitting in a different spot though, aren't you? Are you sitting in a different spot? You're not? All right. Bethany, okay. All right, so did you check with somebody around you? Okay, so let's see, let's work through this quickly. If I have x minus h, that's going to be -4 minus 1 quantity squared. Y minus k, 5 minus -2 quantity squared is equal to r squared. So this is going to be 25 plus 49, which is 60, 74. Is that what you guys are getting? I didn't even bring my notes today. I'm testing my math abilities too. Okay, so am I done? No, what were the directions? Standard equation. Okay. So then let's go back. We've got x minus 1 quantity squared. That was my h. Plus y minus -2 quantity squared is equal to 74. My r squared. I don't even need to know what r is. Square root of 74 sounds gross. Is that what you guys came up with?